People know I was offered Superman years ago. I said no because I didn't know quite how to tackle it. And I think that, but because of that, I kept thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it. How could I create a Superman that's true to the character of Superman, that absolutely loves the character of Superman, and yet is a take on Superman that's different enough that it's worth, making a big budget movie about it. That it's worth people seeing it, that it won't be boring, all of those things. So.
Ever since the announcement of James Gunn and Peter Safran as the new CEOs of DC Films, I have felt skeptical about the direction DC will be heading to after so many years of missteps. Fall-offs.
Are you sweet talking me?
And inconsistencies.
Things will never be the same, because the hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change.
To make your long story short, DC was a sinking ship on fire, and a new direction was necessary to save the brand's reputation. Thankfully, both Gunn and Safran weren't joking around. They got their hands on and founded DC Studios to oversee the publications company Multimedia Projects from now on, alongside a whole new slate of projects and many more to be announced for their new universe branding as the DCU. And let me note, everybody were excited. They knew James Gunn understood what DC World really meant, with projects like the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker being the best we got from the previous universe in a long time. And oh baby, that slate could even get better. Yeah, they had a series nobody asked for, but even that is doing crazy good for what I know. But I'm talking about the Superman feature film for 2025 released. Previously titled Superman Legacy, but afterwards labeled as just simply Superman. We need this movie. Seriously, I don't think we understand the effects of what is coming towards us. We need the Superman movie. And I'm not saying it in just a fan perspective, but more of a people perspective. People know Superman. They all know that big guy in the blue suit, red cape, boots, and S emblem on his chest. Heck, ask anybody no matter the age to draw you a representation of Superman. From the top of the head, they're all going to draw you the Man of Steel that has infested our culture for the past 90 or so years. And it's very easy to understand where that comes from. Superman's creation dates back to the 1930s when he had a set of values imposed on him by its creators, Jerry Siegel and Joey Shuster. Both main objective at the time of modeling a hero was to encapsulate one feeling, a feeling which will be perceived and understood by anyone and anybody, that being hope.
What's the S stand for?
It's not an S. On my world, it means hope.
And hope has been none the least a challenging and controversial characteristic of the Blue Scout, mainly because the public media throughout the years has viewed it with repulsiveness, and honestly, it's normal of the human nature. Yeah, so contrary to many YouTube videos and other media outlets out there which have tackled the topic of Superman being boring for the public, and how because they say so, the public is wrong and intellectual. Let me tell you, that is pretty petty. Rather than boring, I will say Superman is just indifferent to the public. And that indifference mostly comes from a time factor. You see, humanity's way of thinking changes throughout time, and it's a normal characteristic of ours. And the problem is that the media struggles with keeping up with the changes, and Superman is an example of this phenomenon. Real quick demonstration. Superman was just first introduced to give strength to the people during World War II. Once World War II ended, Silver Age Superman was there to deliver joy. Then movies will enter the picture, with Richard Donner's Superman films giving comfort in times of post-Vietnam conflict. Heck, let's not undermine Zack Snyder's grittier and dark take on the character that gave the feeling of solidarity to many people in the modern age. But sadly, all of that has to be thrown to the window because today we are situated in the 2020s. And after suffering a pandemic and many still undergoing conflicts, humanity saw a drastic and rapid change in their society. And that change made the Superman media available at the time inadequate. Mind, I'm not saying that all previous iterations of the character became obsolete and therefore bad, because that isn't true. Many people have taken and can still take solid messages and lessons from this media. What I'm trying to convey here is that most people need a new take on the character, a new symbol to look up to, somebody to relate to, a new sign of hope on the horizon to reach out for.
Philosophically, what does Superman represent to you?
A friend.
The Superman teaser trailer is exactly all of that, and better. I don't have enough words to describe how well the character and his mythos were portrayed in this 2 minutes and 19 seconds runtime. It's perfect, the colorful and joyful aesthetic, the relationship of the characters, their physical portrayal, their acts, their feelings, and what they represent. Everything is great, and of course, it's just a trailer, but it shows us what Superman in Superworld is. It takes the best of all Superman media there is, the hopeful aura of Grant Morrison's All-Star Superman, the joyful nature of Christopher Reeve's portrayal, and the realism on Henry Cavill's world, and many more to create a perfect picture of the Man of Tomorrow, a picture we all need. And what I was trying to convey in this previous section was exactly this: people need this Superman film. But why? It's very easy. Everybody needs a helping hand. Everybody of us deals with a problem constantly. No matter how hard we try to hide them, they are always there, and we must deal with them by ourselves with no helping hand. That is what a self-proclaimed realistic foot-to-the-ground person will always say. But a winged flying dreamer will think otherwise. It will go against all odds and not use too brute a form thinking to tackle its problems. It will use its imagination. It will tackle the problems in ways that we will mold the problem into a positive solution. A helping hand is their best weapon, and it can be portrayed very differently depending on what dreamer you ask to. But in my opinion, there is no better portrayal of a helping hand than that of an alien from a distant planet with the appearance of a man, but the capabilities of a super creature, which portrays the values and dreams found in humanity better than any of us.
You think that's it? It's not over, you punsy twit! If you think I'll just go to jail and rot, you're living in a dream world!
Good. Dreams save us. Dreams lift us up and transform us into something better. And on my soul, I swear that until my dream of a world where dignity, honor, and justice are the reality we all share, I'll never stop fighting. Ever.
So, what are you waiting for? Seek it. There are a lot of Superman media out there to consume and enjoy. Quick recommendations: in comics, All-Star Superman, Superman Bright Right are great exposition of Superman in its origin media, my personal favorites honestly. In live action, as previously mentioned, you got Richard Donner's duology, Zack Snyder's adaptation, and heck, even Smallville are great to understand certain aspects of the character in the flesh. And now let me get started with the animation department. Superman the Animated Series, My Adventures with Superman, Justice League Unlimited are all great into giving a full perspective of the Blue Scout. We can be certain that James Gunn and his teams are doing a fantastic job and are trying to deliver the best they can with their take on Superman. And so far with the projects he has presented and he has pushed forward, we are for a ride of DC for this new era. As I started, Creature Commandos is being great and probably will be making a video around it. But in the meantime, stay safe and remember that a helping hand is always there for you.